Hi, good evening. Welcome to the Jon Gaunt podcast. Tonight, I'm asking the big question. Is Britain still great? Is it still Great Britain? Don't bore me with the nonsense about geographically it's called Great Britain. You know what I'm saying. Is it still Great Britain, or have we lost it? What with the immigration chaos, the Brexit fallout, the woke culture, broken promises, the lies of Starmer, Tony Blair all those years ago. And of course, you can't talk about the wrecking of Britain without talking about BBC bias. It's all on the table. You get it off your chest. Let's have your say. And let's find out if we can put the great back in Great Britain. That's tonight's debate. I think it's going to be bloody difficult, to be honest with you, but let's talk about it. We will mention Washington. I mean, that's another symbol of how we're not great. Starmer's had to go today to be the lapdog of Donald Trump. He's not gone because he's going to say anything. Trump won't allow him. Him and the coalition of the useless have gone over there to sit in a room next to where the real business is being done. Is that Great Britain? I say no. If you've got an opinion, I want to hear from you. So it's immigration, it's Brexit, it's woke culture, it's patriotism, it's Starmer's broken promises, and of course, it's the BBC. Nothing's off the limits. Just say what you want to say. I talked about it earlier on Twitter or X, and I got a brilliant comment here from a guy from the Politics blog. Not got many followers, but he makes a lot of sense. He says, we have the ability to be great, we want to be great, and we should be great. But until we break from the shackles of the neoliberal cosmopolitan elites that have ruled us for far too long, nothing will be done. They have pushed their views of things like diversity and immigration onto us and made this country become self-hating. It's brilliant, isn't it? We're told that we have to celebrate other cultures, but are called bigots, gammons, and flag shaggers if we try to feel proud of our own country or our own accomplishments and values. The people have clearly had enough, he finishes, and things are starting to change. One day, hopefully soon, we will feel great again. That's from a thing called the Politics blog. Follow them, because I think he's making an awful lot of sense. So that is what we're talking about. I will come to your... Sorry, hang on a minute. We've got a problem here. Denise Deacon says breaking up. What, you breaking up your relationship or I'm breaking up? Can you give me a bit more detail on that for me, please? Taking the flags down is pathetic. Has anybody said why? That's Craig Urquhart on YouTube. I agree with you, Craig. It's absolutely bonkers. I think it's great that they're putting them back up again, but Birmingham City Council have taken them down, but they did light up the library in Pakistan's colours. What is going on? Can you hear me loud and clearly? If you can, please let me know. All right, as I was saying, good evening. Welcome to the Jon Gaunt Show. Tonight, I'm asking the question that nobody in the mainstream media dares to touch because they would think it's racist. Is Britain still great? Because let's be honest, immigration is completely out of control, both legal and illegal. Brexit has been betrayed. We've got it only in name. We haven't got independence from the EU. The EU still has its claws in us. And woke culture is eating away at our pride. Every day our kids go to school, it's been eaten away. We've got self-loathing liberals pulling down our flags in Birmingham and Tower Hamlets. In Tower Hamlets, they had the Palestine flags up for ages. The Union Jacks went up and they've come down in a day. They've got bullshit excuses for it. I think everybody should order a flag and hang it out of their window. That'll upset that Labour dame, wouldn't it? We've got a prime minister who, though today has said, well, he's been on his plane to Washington. Why is he going there? About as much use as a chocolate fireguard. But anyway, he's off to Washington. But his spokesman has said, well, of course, when it comes to flags, we believe in the flag. We fly the flag of St. George. We fly the Union flag. So is that him saying he is against what the councils are doing? And if that's the case, tell the Muslim-controlled Council of Tower Hamlets to leave our flag alone. The same in Birmingham. I haven't got a problem with them celebrating Pakistan Day, apart from the fact it went on for 3 days. But we want our flags up. The people are speaking. But we've got a Prime Minister, Starmer, who breaks promises left, right and centre. And the BBC, of course, are more interested in pushing their woke agenda than telling us the truth. It's a propaganda machine. So here's what I want to know. What's wrong with being patriotic? Why are many people ashamed of our own history? And is Britain really racist? I say no. I say that's just another lie designed to keep us, the masses, quiet. So this isn't going to be polite. It isn't going to be comfortable, but I hope it's going to be honest. So you buckle up, get involved in the chat, write down whatever you want to do, and let's have the debate. Is Britain still great? Immigration, Brexit fallout, woke culture, broken promises, BBC bias, and a Prime Minister like Starmer who couldn't lie straight in bed. And then we go to America today, our leader, and he's like an extra without a job to do. Are you with me or are you against me? I see we've got 7 people already liking the show, which is good to hear. Denise Deacon, can you now hear us? Craig McKenzie says, evening, John Boy. Thank you. Dottie Spot has reposted the stream. Dottie, thank you for doing that. The more people who do that, the better. I now have to believe that they are creating these issues, John, in order to bring in and justify the Orwellian restrictions that they really want. That's Craig McKenzie. I've got a lot of sympathy with that view. I didn't want to get to that point, but I think that's where I'm coming to, my friend. Stephen Alden says, good evening from Billericay in Essex. Denise Deacon, you must be able to hear me now because she said it was breaking up before. I've ordered a flag from Amazon today. I want to be proud of this country, but I'm increasingly in despair of it because of those who are in power. I think if you're getting a flag and you're English, get the Union flag, but also get the flag of St. George, hang it from your windows and shove one up this lousy Labour government. Are you with me or are you against me? Please spread the word about the podcast, the broadcast. They are going brilliantly. And if you didn't listen to the extra one yesterday, I did another one yesterday afternoon. I was bored, had to get some things off my chest. I think it's a cracker. Have a listen or watch after you finish this one. They're always there. They're all at Jon Gaunt TV. Go there and you'll see the lot of them. Right. Where am I going next? I'll tell you where I'm going next. To a little bit more info for you. Has Britain lost its greatness? Can we still be proud of our nation? I think we can. There's certain things about it that I'm not proud of. But is our country divided? Immigration completely out of control. It's been another farce at the border this weekend. Listen, we can solve it overnight. We close the hotels, we put them in tents behind barbed wire. We have the Navy in the Channel and the Army on the beach. If they wanted to solve it, they would solve it. But like this is what I talked about in my show yesterday. They're conning you. They're going to tell you next week, oh, the amount of people in the hotels has gone down. What they're not telling you is that they've put them into homes of multiple occupation. I think that's more dangerous because now there's nobody keeping an eye on them. And before you start, I'm not saying that everybody in the dinghy is a rapist, a sex offender, a crook, but it only needs 1 or 2, doesn't it? to make our streets feel unsafe. I told you the other week about Lisa walking through Warwick. She said it just didn't feel right. Well, that's not the way it should be. And our girls, our wives, our sisters, our mothers should be protected. Starmer doesn't give a shit, because if he did, he'd have all of these people locked up in old army camps in tents behind wire. Now that if he did that, what would happen is the numbers coming would drop off a cliff. Don't believe me? Look at Greece. Look at the United States of America. 95% drop off in illegal immigration on the southern border. Why? Because he's hard, because he said Alligator Alley and all the rest of it, Alligator Alcatraz. He's not messing. We've got to do the same. Greece said, you come to Greece without permission, we're going to send you straight back, or we're going to lock you up. If you say, I don't know where I came from, we'll just put you in prison. That's what we've got to do. You've got to be cruel to be kind. How many more people do you want to die in the channel? Now, I don't think we can have this debate tonight without talking about Brexit and the way that the ruling elite, the political establishment of every party, have stitched us up. They didn't want what the people wanted, and so we've still got this influence of the EU. Have you seen today? Ursula von der Leyen, or whatever her name is, she's actually gone to this meeting with Trump. It's the coalition of the useless have all flown to Washington today. They're not in the meeting with Zelensky, as far as I understand it. They're going to be in another room. They're there to show solidarity with Zelensky, so he doesn't get bullied last time. Oh, dudums. So what they're saying is, if Trump doesn't give Zelensky what he wants, and I don't think Trump should, then it'll kick off and we're going to back. Now, you be careful now. We're then going to back Zelensky against Russia. Just take a moment and think about that. Do you want, and Starmer's repeated it today about our boys' boots on the ground. Do you want your husband, your boyfriend, your brother, your son going to Russia and dying in the Ukraine? I don't think you do you? We've done enough to help them. They should now do exactly what Donald Trump says, and then we could get this war done and dusted. And the idea that Europe can have any real influence is for the birds. We've got no influence because we haven't got the troops. Germany's already saying, this is Germany, oh, we can't send any troops to Ukraine for a peacekeeping force. They're taking the peace. We can't do that because we're already too busy. So guess who it's going to fall on? Us again. I want to talk about woke culture and the self-loathing liberals who infest the teaching profession and the universities. They hate our country. They hate our history. They hate our culture. Well, apart from football, they're trying to take that over, aren't they, with their liberal ideas. These people, as Kevin Rowland used to say, with their home bars and hi-fis, I hate them. I hate them. They think because they read The Guardian, they're cleverer and brighter than you. There's more spelling mistakes in The Guardian than in The Sun. I shall just leave that there. And then what do you think about Birmingham and Tower Hamlets in the East End taking down our beautiful Union flag, the flag of St. George's? They say it's dangerous, but they also say it might cause trouble. What? It's our flag. Or our flags, and it's in our country. But put the Pakistani one up, that's no problem. Put up the one supporting Hamas, put up the one supporting the so-called Palestinian state, which of course doesn't exist. There's no such thing as the Palestinian state. It's a bunch of terrorists who haven't had elections in 14 years. Then add into the pot Starmer, the most hated prime minister in our history. What about all the lies, the absolute bullshit he's come out with? He has brought our country down. And then he has the temerity to stand in front of the Union flag as if he's a great patriot. He couldn't spell patriot. Well, I'm not sure if I can either. But he couldn't spell it, let alone be it. And then why do they all attack our patriotism, our history? Because I don't believe Britain is racist. And finally, let's talk about the BBC. You can't have this discussion without the propaganda bullshit that they come out with, where they run our country down at every opportunity, even now. And then they're running down Trump. Or the BBC, I was watching some of their coverage today. Their whole coverage is on the basis of Trump's a terrible man. Yeah, but hold on a minute. As he says, did lazy Biden do anything? Who created this situation with the Ukraine? Oh, was it Barack Obama? Did he do anything when Russia took the Crimea? Answer, no, he did sod all. And then followed up by Sleepy Joe, he did sod all. Trump has got him around the table. Why are they slagging him off? But also, why is our Prime Minister just an extra, just a bit player on the same level as the Prime Minister or the President, whatever he's calling himself this year, of Finland? He's the guy who I nearly had a scrap with in the European Parliament 10 or 12 years ago. He's married to some Birmingham bird. He's a Burke. But he's at this meeting as well. Well, they're not at the meeting. They're in the room next door. So I'm asking you, is Britain great? Can it become great? What do we need to do? Are you going to buy a flag? Are you going to display it from your bedroom windows? Are the uber liberals really getting on your tits like they are me? Let's have your view. There's enough there for you to get going on, isn't there? Right, let's get going. That was Denise Deacon. I've already done yours, haven't I, Denise? So I want your opinion. Oh, and if you're thinking, well, when are you going to talk about Trump and Zelensky? The answer is tomorrow. I might do an extra show during the day, but there's no point in talking about it now because it's all just speculation. I think I know what Trump's going to say, but let's wait and see. And I think I know how Zelensky will behave. I just hope somebody can separate J.D. Vance from him if it does kick off. So we'll talk about all of that tomorrow. But tonight, let's stay on domestic issues. How do we make Britain great again? And who has brought it down? What's the things that have created this? Do you like me Sex Pistols poster as well? I thought it was brilliant. Look, I lean to one side there. If you're listening on a podcast, you won't know what I'm talking about. But I thought it was brilliant. I rang up my mate, AI. I said, can you do this? Like the Sex Pistols. And it's not bad. He's not done bad with it, to be honest. Right. Let's get going. Oh, don't forget, really could do with you contributing and donating. Adam today sent me 3 coffees or 3 beers, I think it was. Absolutely super generous. He's done it before as well. But he also wrote some really nice things about the show and about the extended interviews and how much he's enjoying it and learning from it. Adam, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Now, why don't you be like Adam and donate a few quid? Simple to do. www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. Alternatively, you can donate now by just, if you're watching on YouTube, pressing the $sign and donate a few quid or 10 quid, whatever you fancy. It all helps and it stops me having to sell the big issue. All right, let's move on. Where are we going next? Craig McKenzie. I've got a 4.4 meter pole which arrived today. The flag will be up by Thursday. Careful there, Craig, because that's one of the ways they get you. They say you need planning permission. I've done this story so many times on radio over the years. They'll say you need planning permission for it. It's bullshit, but they'll say that. But I'm thinking now I'm almost encouraging mass civil disobedience when it comes to flags. I want taxi drivers. I know you get into trouble with the Hackney carriage. Who gives a shit? Put them in your cabs. Put the Union flag in your cabs. Put it on your bonnet. Put the flag of St. George there. Van drivers, white van men, the men who make this, and women who make this country brilliant, start displaying the flag. We've all got to turn into Tim Brooke Taylor out of the goodies and shove one up the uber liberals, because I think we can put the great back into Britain. Do you? Let's get moving. It's been our tolerance that has been our undoing, John. That's a good point, Graham Hatton's making on Facebook. We've taken quite a pasting since the turn of the century. But I think we've got to the stage now that we're beginning to stir as a nation. Yeah, I'm feeling that, Graham. I think the migrant hotel crisis is adding to that. And, you know, I said today, I put a tweet up. I don't know if you saw it. Well, I basically said, what's the point of passport control? When I come back into the country, if some div in a blue sweater says to me, where's your passport? I want them to fuck off. You don't ask them for their passports. You know they've thrown their passports away. We've let in over 50,000 minimum, this is, since Starmer came to power. 50,000 people totally undocumented. Then you have the cheek and the temerity to tell me I've got to show you my passport to get into my country. I say we could save a fortune overnight. Let's scrap passport control. Let's just let everybody in. I was going to say that the muggers, the rapists, the sex. Oh, we've already done that. But we have, haven't we? It's not as if we haven't got them all in this country already, abusers. Do we need a load more? I think not. Some of the videos that are going up on YouTube at the moment about this are just incredible. And you can't lie. If there was just one video, you could probably go, oh, yeah, it's probably falsified. It's probably AI. But there's hundreds of them showing you the luxury inside those hotels. It's unbelievable. Close the hotels. Put them in tents behind barbed wire tonight. So back to Graham. He says, I think it's got a stage now where we're beginning to stir as a nation. This nation is great, he says, in capitals. It's the best country in the world. We will no longer stand silently while people badmouth our country. Thank you for your comments. So far, 11 days since Starmer's deal. 1 in, 1 out. There's been 2,500 in, 0 out. Well said, my friend. American Made on YouTube says, got to keep that border secure. Well, I think we know that, American Mode. Maybe you want to give a bit more information. Mick Frinton on C, Facebook. Starmer is never here. He has more, must have more air miles to fly around the world. I said the other day, more air miles than Judith Chalmers. He's done over 100,000 miles since he came to power. The sooner Farage is PM, the better. If Labour wins the next election, I'm off. I think I'll top myself if they win the next election, my friend. I'm not advocating suicide, by the way, just in case the algorithm is listening. But what I will say to you, Mick, did you like Farage's T-shirts with the number 10 on the back? The football shirts? All the snobs, all the people who hate us have been moaning about it. And have you noticed how the left wing at the moment are getting really, really edgy? Jackie Ward says, you are breaking up badly. Difficult to know what you're saying. Jackie, I humbly suggest it must be your connection at your end because nobody else has mentioned it. So I think it's your end. Take your internet out, plug it back in again. Turn it off, switch it on. Usually works. Fraser Ford, is anybody else having a problem? Because if they are, well, I don't know what I can do about it because my setup is perfect. Fraser Ford says, great show. Thank you very much indeed. American Made says he wore a suit this time. I presume you're talking about Zelensky. Yeah, well, I don't know because I've not seen the TV for the last hour or so. I've been busy preparing to talk to you. But what's interesting is if he has worn one, that's because Trump said, you come to the Oval Office. You respect the Oval Office. You better be wearing a suit. In a way, the way Trump has played all this, don't you wish we had a leader like that? He's told them, you've not paid enough for NATO, you're going to have to do it. He told them this before the election. He's got in power and he's forced them to do it with the tariffs and the rest of it. What's he doing? He's putting America first. Why is he doing it? Because he wants to make America great again. Don't you want a leader like that? I want a leader who will definitely always put the United Kingdom first and make Britain great again. Is that too much to ask? But you're not going to get it with Starmer. Starmer wants to lead the EU or work for the WEF or work for the United Nations. He's looking for the next big gig. He's not interested in us. He's even admitted it. He said he'd rather be at Davos than he would be in Westminster. Ronnie Hurst says our people will not fight for Starmer. They may have no choice. There's also been conversations, and this is the way it works, Ronnie. Let me explain to you how it works. This is how it works. There have been conversations and debates in the papers. Soon it will be all over radio stations. Shall we bring conscription back? Why do you think they're getting all the schools? They've ramped up the schools, they're learning how to evacuate if a lone shooter comes in or if there's a problem. Why do you think they're testing in the next couple of weeks the thing that's going to go mental on your phone? I think there's a real danger. Starmer's going to take us to war, a war that we can't possibly win. As I've said to you many times before, my nephew has got more boats in his back than we've got in the ocean. Polls against Brexit. No wonder. We've suffered 9 years of drip, drip, drip media negativity and hostility. Relentless will remain propaganda and indoctrination, says Matthias 13. Very good point indeed. You're right. The whole establishment, they got a bloody nose. They got a bloody nose when we voted. No one expected, even Farage went to bed. He didn't think we were going to win Brexit. But we did. And they hated it. And a lot of what Starmer's done this year, in my opinion, has been a Brexit or revenge. And we all know he likes the back door, it would appear. It would appear that he wants to get us back into the EU through the back door. I think it's disgusting. He should be championing Britain, talking about what makes us great. All that piffle about the lionesses, it's all for show. It's not real. It's not real, is it? And that's what annoys me. I think Starmer's contempt for the working class stems from Brexit, says Denise Deacon on Facebook, because he thinks it's our fault it got through. That's kind of what I was just saying myself, Denise. We're working off the same hymn sheet, me and you. Great brains and all that. But it does feel like that, doesn't it? I'll teach you a lesson. I'll teach you a lesson. He couldn't punch his way out of a paper bag, but he wants to send your kids to their deaths. Did you see him wearing the military uniform on some kind of military operation? He had the big camouflage top on there, but he was still wearing his suit trousers. I don't know why he didn't take his... He looks pathetic. Suits you, sir. Maybe Lord Ali couldn't afford the camouflage trousers as well as the top. I don't know what went on. Fly high and proud, says American Made. Why are you called American Made? Where are we going next? Matthias again. He's got a good point. Voted Tory since 1976 every time. But although Kemi is a black Maggie, well, she's a black person, Maggie Thatcher, her party is still in the toxic grip of those hideous one nation, brackets, no nation, left liberal wets. So I'm now voting reform. Thank you very much indeed for your comments. Oh, I haven't mentioned it, have I? I might have mentioned it yesterday. Coventry City, 5. Derby County, 2. What a victory. The magnificent Sky Blues were brilliant. And I've already apologised about slagging off Frank Lampard and saying he wouldn't do as well as Mark Robbins. I've got over it. He is a brilliant manager. He's obviously a fabulous coach. I still think we need some more players. But Derby, you were played off the park. And Ben the Ram, it's very interesting. Every time Derby beats Coventry, he donates a £5 or a tenner to buy me a coffee. But he's not doing it now they've lost. Oh, Ben, dry your tears, love. Dry your tears. The BBC should be like Netflix and Sky. Pay if you want to watch it. I agree, Ronnie. I've come round to that view myself. Margie Collins is just giving me the clap, so thank you very much indeed. Maggie Young, Trump just said live on TV, without borders, you're not a country. Yeah, he said that many times, Maggie, and it's true. If you don't have strong borders, you're not a country. You're just an area. Well, do you know that Britain was going to be an area of the expanded EU. That's what the EU want. No borders. That's the Schengen, or whatever it's called, agreement. They don't want borders. And that's why we ended up with everybody here, starting with the Polish plumbers, who've done a good job, to be fair, but started with them, and now for everyone. So now we've got an NHS, which isn't a national health service. It's a flipping World Health Service. It's a joke. It's a farce. And you cannot possibly have an idea of equal no borders unless you've got equal taxation, equal benefits. And that's why the EU failed. And it is failing. Germany want out. France want out. They all want out. Italy wants out. She's let me down. I don't understand why she's gone today. The Italian premier. She should have said no. It's a farce. It's a PR trip. They're trying to convince Europe, individual countries in Europe, that they've got any power. They've got zero power. Trump will call the shots, and indeed Putin. And don't forget, this meeting is to say to Zelensky, you're going to have to give up some parts of the Donbass. You are. And forget about the Crimea. You lost that ages ago, and that's Barack Obama's fault. Go and see him in Hollywood. I know it sounds bad, but do you want hundreds of thousands of more people to die? I don't. That's why I don't get the liberals when they go, oh, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. We need any leader like him, don't we? I've gone off on one. Maggie, thank you for that, but you've nearly made me go mental. Bella Vida, working class and proud. I like your avatar. It's got the Union flag. If you're listening on the radio, on the audio, you'll see it if you come and watch the video later. I've got Union flag bunting in my garden. Well done to you. You are true patriot. Oh, that's interesting. Craig McKenzie says, my poll for his flag he's talking about, it's just under by just a few millimeters. I did that purposely. Laugh out loud. Good on you, mate. Get your flag up. Everybody get your flag up. Get your flags up, because this is another one where we're going to stitch up Starmer. By the way, the petition's got to 1 million, hasn't it? For an election. He's trying to ignore it. He won't be able to. He will have to have this debate. And it's all pressure building on him, which is what we need to do. And I say this because he's a liar. He's a bullshitter. He's a fraud when it comes to his election promises. Look at the winter fuel allowance. And then when challenged, he cacks himself. His trousers, not his army camouflage trousers. He's a coward. He's a moral coward. He's got no spine. He needs to be removed. But he's only one part of the problem. Then you've got the BBC. You've got no borders. Surely, if we're going to make Britain great again, we've got to secure our borders and secure them tomorrow. Are you with me or against me? Jake Morton Brown, very old listener. Evening, Gaunty. It could be great again, this country, but spineless politicians don't want it to be. They just want to be politically correct cowards who land cushy jobs. Look at Tony Blair, drowned us in diversity, and then became the Middle East peace envoy at one point. Yeah, the bit you missed out. Also then destroyed Afghanistan and Iraq. I mean, he was a warmonger. But you're right. Middle East peace envoy, multi-millionaire. I see his son, the one who puked up in the gutter all those years ago. We've all done it. After having a session, he's now a multi-millionaire. They reckon he's got more money than his dad. And look at the Kinnocks, how much money they made out of the EU. They're all on the gravy train. Doot, doot. Next stop, Brussels. It's like the Miliband brothers. You got the idiot over here who's trying to make us all go green, which we can't afford, right? And it's going to be a miserable failure. I mean, don't get me wrong. Do your recycling, do all those bits. Go on a train if you can. Don't use the car when you can. I'm all for that. But don't try and force me to buy an electric one when the infrastructure isn't there, you prick. Then there's his brother. Do you know what his brother does? He was the clever one, the brother. The brother should have ended up as leader of the Labour Party rather than Bernie Winters. But what happened was he went off. He didn't get the vote, so he went off to America And he runs a charity called International Rescue. No, not the Thunderbirds, although they both walk like Thunderbirds. No, it's a charity that helps out in disasters and other stuff. Made a fortune. He was on the best part of £1 million a year. And guess what came out just recently? Guess who funds it? You mug. Us fund it. Just like a lot of those NGOs over in Calais, helping the refugees. 95.4% of them are economic migrants. That's our money, funding it. So look, when they come here, they get legal aid. It's just nonsense. All of this is bonkers. Starmer hates his own people, clear with his agenda. Who would vote for who would fight for Yvette Cooper? Who would jail any person who speaks up for human rights? Yet takes bags of cash from a wanted warlord. UK is broken, says James Morrison. I can't argue with you at the moment, but I want to know also, how do we make it better? Don't slag off Starmer. Haven't you heard Gaunty is a patriot, according to number 10? Thanks to his stance on the flag. Yeah, that was today's bullshit, wasn't it, from the Politburo? He's on his plane with his white... Have you noticed he's got white leather seats on that aeroplane? I had a Jag like that. It shows up every mark. You wouldn't want it. I can advise you, white leather, no. Definitely not. But anyway, he's got it on his jumbo or whatever sort of plane he's got. And I don't mind the planes. I think it shows that we're a great nation. Like, I was really against when they got rid of the Royal Yacht. Lisa and I went to see it in Leith once. And since it's been decommissioned, it's fascinating to go around it. And I thought, well, it's the Queen. She represents our country. And if we can do business with it, we should have it. We should have a new one. And that's why I agreed with Boris when he said he wanted to get the plane. But Starmer, he loves it. He absolutely loves it. Starmer wants to be round the world, globetrotting, meeting people going, yes, I'm the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Disunited, you mean? Did you know I used to be the Director of Public Prosecution? Then some African warlord probably says, oh, were you the one who let off Jimmy Savile? And he went, no, that never came across my desk. According to Starmer, nothing and nobody ever came across his desk. Jake Morton, brand new. I've read that one already. You've sent it again. What's this say? Paul Stentford, 5-3, John. Oh, the score against Derby. Doesn't really matter. When we end up getting 5, are we really going to argue about one goal? I'm sorry, that's really rude of me. Derby were okay, weren't they? That guy you got from Luton, he did all right for you, but we were magnificent. Right, I'm going to finish in a minute. If you do want to say anything, get your comments in now. If you'd like to donate, please do so. www.buymeacoffee.com/Jon Gaunt. Really could do with some more contributions this week, please. And don't forget, tomorrow, Monday, isn't it? End of Tuesday is cut-off day. So if you could do it today, that'd be good. If you'd also like to do it via YouTube, there's a little padlock at the bottom of the screen. Not a padlock. What about? It should be a padlock. There's a little, what do you call it? $sign. I think you click on that and then you can send some cash over the internet to Gaunty. That'd be really good if you could do it. So there we are. Immigration chaos. Brexit betrayal. The woke who have infested every area of public life. They run the police. They run the universities. They run social services. They run everything. But they don't actually do any good, do they? Because in a sense, people now are meant to be kind, be woke, but we've got a worse society than we've ever had. And the left-wingers on X and on Facebook, they say things like, oh, why have you mentioned the ethnicity of the guy who's alleged to have raped, and it could be any one of the rapes or sexual assaults that have gone on. You're a racist. No, it's not racist to do that. And then they go, did you know the majority of child abusers and rapists in Britain are white? It's like, oh, Fucking hell. No, I didn't realise that. I've been living in a coma. Of course I realise that, but it's per capita, isn't it? We're a white country predominantly. So that must mean that the biggest amount of nonsense will be white. But they use it to try and deflate or deflect from, say, I don't know, the Afghan or the Pakistani Muslim who has raped a girl, a child. And then they think they're kind. They think they're, what do they call? I love the way they're left wing. They call themselves progressive. What's progressive about standing up for pedos? Please explain. I don't understand it. Or trying to diminish the crime because of the ethnicity. A pedo is a pedo is a pedo. If they're white, I condemn. And that's the thing they say. Oh, see this lot in Glasgow, Gaunty, these paedophiles. You haven't condemned them. And you think, well, I think I did, but maybe I hadn't seen the story. But I have, and I will. Now you've told me, I condemn them. As you know where I stand on this. I'd string them all up by their cobblers from the lamppost next to the Union flag, probably. If you could find a Union flag that's still up with the council hasn't taken down and replaced with a Pakistani one or a Palestinian liberation one. I support Palestine. Did you see the bloke? You couldn't make this next bit up. He's in a frock. I don't know if you've seen this. You won't have seen it on the news, but it was all over YouTube this weekend. He's in a frock. That's the only way I can describe it, like a red or pink dress. Lacy, not lacy, flowy. And he gets red paint and he goes and defaces one of our statues in London. Basically about Palestine, saying he supports Palestine. I don't know if he was arrested. He should have been arrested in the harshest way possible. A few good slaps down on the ground, padlocks on. Not padlocks, what do you call them? Handcuffs on. What gives him the right? And of course, the other choice we could do with people like him, we should take him to Gaza or the Palestine, wherever it is, in a helicopter, drop him gently, carefully, on top of a rise block, get a megaphone and shout down to him, Hamas, Hamas, this guy is gay, and then see what happens. I'm joking, but it's kind of this illogical, I saw a sign, queers, I hate that word anyway, but queers, that's what they're because they're gay, they're allowed to use it, but we're not. For Palestine. I thought, well, you won't be saying that when you're getting pushed off a tower block. I just find it bizarre. And why do you hate our country, your country? Why don't you just love it? I just can't get my head round why people hate their own country. And if you hate it that much, go down to Luton Airport. Stelios, chucks away. Can you take them away? Take these people away. We don't want them in our country. Knocking our culture, knocking our tradition, knocking our history, knocking our achievements. We're a great nation, so great that every Tom, Dick and Abdul wants to get in here. If it was rubbish, they wouldn't want to come, would they? And I want to just say one thing about immigration. I'm all for well-controlled, managed immigration. But did you see the Afghan guy who was on GB News? He was visibly shocked when he was told that the house he was now living in with 4 or 5 other guys, home of multiple occupation, as they call it, was actually a family's house. He said, what? They kicked children out. And you know what he did? And this guy should get citizenship today. He apologized. He said, that's wrong. What a decent human being. Exactly the kind of person we want in the country. Somebody should track him down and let him become a citizen. Because that's the right attitude. Have you seen some of the others when they're sticking the V's up with their flip-flops and I worry sick. These are undocumented fighting age men in our country. And there's thousands of them now. Thousands and thousands and thousands. And on that cheery note, I shall bid you farewell. Thank you very much for joining in. Thank you for all your likes. If you listen later or watch this later, press the like button. And if you're listening on a podcast, please like it, share it, give it 5 gold stars if you're on Apple. Tell people about what we're doing. And please, also, please, just keep telling people. That's the best thing you can do for me. It helps with the algorithm. If you want to donate, I've told you how to do that, and you can find out about it in all the notes. But thanks for listening. I'm going to go and watch Trump now. Got a lovely chili con carne I cooked up earlier. So have some chili, watch Trump, and I think he's going to spank their asses, and I can't wait to see it. Let's finish off with the usual people. Jackie Ward has given me 3 hearts. Thank you, Jackie. Maggie Young has given me loads of claps. I don't know where you were the last 2 shows, Maggie. I missed you. Jake Morton, Matt Brown, he's given me 4 claps. Thank you, Jake. That's very kind of you. And Fraser Ford says, yay. And who's that? James Morrison says, good punch, John. Well, I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow at 6:30, but maybe do an extra one in the day if anything breaks big on this Zelensky-Trump thing. So until tomorrow, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Hey, don't forget to tell them you love them. See you tomorrow. Bye.